Good morning, everybody. My name is Paul MacDonald, and I'm with the United Service Association. I want to welcome you today to another of our education webinar series. In fact, I'm excited to tell you that this particular topic, Power Selling Pros, training your customer service reps, has been so popular. We've had to add an extra 2 webinars just to handle the folks. We're expecting a few more people to join us this morning. In the webinar this morning, we will leave everyone's mic on mute to take and make it easier to hear Brigham as he shares with us some skills on how to train our customer service reps. We will have an answer period towards the end, and if you have any difficulties or wanted to you can do so through the chat feature while your microphone is muted, but I will open them all up again so that we can ask Brigham some questions. So without further ado, Brigham, the show is yours.
Well, about years ago, I just marketing degree and was very excited about a career in marketing. And where I got a job with a heat and cooling company in Chico, California, and I was lead coordinator. I managed all the salesmen schedule. Anyway, got this job because I also had the opportunity to do the advertising for this in particular company, and I'd answer the phones. And it's really great to hear the customer responses about the advertising, and that was the way that I was going to go. Within 6 months, the district manager, whose name it probably doesn't pertain to you, but it was Kevin Comerford, and he owns his own company now in Concord, California. He went $3 million in 3 years, and he was a fantastic example for me at the time. And he called me up and he said, "Brigham, I'd like to spend some time with you." And I, of course, I thought it was because of the marketing degree I just finished up and some marketing things I was doing for the company. Within 2 weeks, sure enough, he and I were sitting down at the office table, and that I had, and he went to it for about 5 minutes, and I was on the table, and he moved my marketing ideas to the side, and he said, "You know what, Brigham, this is all great stuff. You've really put a lot of thought into it. I appreciate that, but that's the reason why I'm here today." And I was kind of surprised by that and said, "Okay, well, why here?" I thought maybe I'd get a promotion or something crazy like that. And he said, "Well, I'd like to hear you answer the phones." I was looking back. I thought, well, what's the big deal? I mean, phone, what's the big deal? And he said, "Show me your greeting." And I showed him my greeting, and it was kind of, I didn't do a very good job because I didn't want to go in this direction. It was kind of a tangent to me. And he said, "Don't tell me that's how you answer the phones." And I said, "Well, no, of course not. I just didn't anticipate that this is what you were looking for today." And for the next 2 hours, he drills me on how to answer the phone. He wrote a script. We practiced that script more the times than I practice, and just drove home. Wanted to make sure that I completely understood how to answer the phone. And as he was walking out the door, because he had run out of time, he said, "I'm going to call you every other week, and I'm going to be using a different voice. I just want to make sure, even if you know it's me, continue through the role play until the end for my feedback." And he'd call every week. One time it was in a cowboy voice, and it was probably the old lady voice. It was fantastic. He'd always wait till the end and say, "Hey, it was Kevin." And of course, I'd always act surprised. "Wow, oh, I can't believe it's you. And boy, you had me going there," that sort of thing. But it, sure enough, for 6 months, and just really helped me understand how important it was to make sure that that first impression the customer gets from the company, me, is a good one, a final one. And that's the essence of what we're going to be talking about today. All often, CSRs and their training put on the back burner, not because I don't think it's important, but just because it's not urgent as all the other things that are going on. Customers calling in, tech doing this or that, I mean, I get it. I get it. It's very, very hard to spend time with customer service reps. The fact of the matter is that it's not enough to answer the phones anymore. What now with CSRs now is we work with over 40 companies worldwide, have over 180 CSRs, and them on a regular basis. And we found that the customer's expectation today is a whole lot higher than it was before. In fact, I sit down with CSRs and I ask them, when you compare the customer's expectation today to what it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, is it higher today, lower today? And without fail, it's absolutely higher today. And there are reasons for that. The first is that they're leaner. The customer's leaner. They have less dollars that they're working with in cases. The second reason is because of the internet. They're a lot more informed. You'd fix something for them, and 5 years ago you'd look like the hero. But hey, they Google the part that you put in, and they feel like they were gouged because they can get it online for pennies on the dollar that they paid with you. And the thing is that there are companies out there today that are providing such a phenomenal level of customer service that increasing their expectation. Let me give you an example. Google has a philosophy that great isn't good enough. Since when is great not good enough? Well, the fact of the matter is that they're great 5 years ago. Does it mean squat today? Doesn't mean anything. They have, you go to Microsoft Word, you type in a word, say it's misspelled, and Microsoft doesn't recognize it. Their Word, their check, it can't recognize it or can't give you options for it. You copy and paste that same misspelled word into Google, and they say, oh, did you mean this? It's printing stuff what Google has. It drives expectations. It drives customers' expectation up. Zappos, a company from 0 to $1 billion in 10 years. In the owner's mind, he's not selling shoes. He's selling phenomenal customer service. You get shoes, you can ship them back free of charge. It's amazing stuff. It comes overnight. You don't like the size, send it back. They'll send you the next. You don't like the color, send it back. They'll send you the right color, the color that you want. It's ridiculous. Okay? Chick-fil-A of individuals that are being paid minimum wage, and yet their customer service is out of control good. Things like my pleasure at the end of orders. If you leave something out and you forgot to order a root beer, what have you, it's really on the house. Why? They are providing a phenomenal customer service. They are succeeding because they're providing a phenomenal customer service. I submit to you that company growth in today's is all about phenomenal customer service. And it drives the consumer's expectation up. They don't have to answer the phone anymore. They have to perform at a higher level. Okay? My intention today is to give you the tools that you need that you get back to your CSRs and help them perform at a higher level. Now, here's the thing about CSRs today, is that it's not the customer's expectation that's higher, it's also CSR's expectation that's gone higher as well. By that, not that it's higher, but that it's generation's all about knowing why. I had a great conversation with my daughter this morning. She's 10 years old, and well, I'd call it great, but I asked her this morning to apologize to Isaac, her 5-year-old brother, and of course she didn't know why she had to apologize, and it was not for me to say because I said so. I for 15 minutes and explained why she needed to apologize. I didn't like it, and of course I knew what my dad did whenever I argued about something. I asked why. I'd get it. It's not that way anymore. Okay, so the generation more and more needs to know they have to do something. Now, here's the great thing about this: principles that you can teach them that I'm going to give you today will give that why. I found with a CSR yesterday in Texas, Dallas, Texas, and she was really catching on to where I was coming from. And I asked her, do you have a significant other? And she says, And yeah, I do have a significant. What's his name? Well, his name is Brett. Okay. How long have you been married to Brett? Well, Brett and I have been married for 40 years. Wow, that's amazing. How do you do that? And she gave me a couple of examples. And you know what? That's fantastic. I'm driving down the road and say I had a frustrating day at work. And Brett proceeds to give you solutions. Well, why didn't you do this? Oh, you do that. Why didn't you do this other thing? And so the problem with that is that the CSR would get pretty upset, right? And she said, oh, yeah, that happened to me just yesterday. I couldn't do it. Well, you know, he still hasn't learned that I just want to be listened to. I want him to understand. I'm not dumb. I can come up with my own solutions. And that's interesting. When a customer gets on the phone and explains their problem, the thing we do is say, okay, what's your address? We might as well say, hey, my house is on fire. And we say, okay, what's your address? Really? The customer comes on, it's not because they want to call you. Not because they, they're bored and they're going to give you a call. And I realized that in very few cases, there are customers that call in and say, hey, what's up? They have a problem usually, and they're frustrated about it. It's something where they have to spend money to fix. They're not really happy about it. And amazing to me, if you just show a little bit of empathy, skills in the beginning of that call, boy, it changes everything. It changes everything. And the why behind it, and this is that why. Okay, so when we pick up the phone, our goal twofold. First is book technicians don't work. Nobody works until you book it. Nobody until you book the call. But I mean, look, when a customer has a problem, they're going to book it. In addition to that, you've got to create that wow experience over the phone. How do you create that wow experience? It's social skills, those soft skills that we're going to be talking about today. Wow experience for that customer. Again, we have no choice. The customer expectation is through the roof, and I'm going to give you the tools to meet that expectation and even exceed it. So the best way to book an appointment, very simple. Get the customer to like you and trust you. If you get in the call, that customer treats the CSR like an object, means to an end. Okay, to talk to you, in order to technician out to my home, fix my problem so I can go on with my life. Okay, they're short with you, they may be gruff. Okay, but you get them to talk about their problem and the opportunity to express sympathy to them and show that you can absolutely help and reassure them they've called the right place. Then they stop treating you like an object and treat you like a person. True with life. All right, listening. When your ears instead of your mouth. You're surprised how people begin to be more attracted to you, begin to like you, begin to trust you. And you know what's the cool thing about being liked and trusted? The dispute at the end, not a big deal. You know today as opposed to tomorrow or next week doesn't matter much. Why? Because they like you. Just with their friends. And so your first goal is to be positive. Be very okay. Enthusiasm is important. Sometimes empathy isn't needed, but enthusiasm is always needed. Okay? Being positive is always needed. People do business with their friends. It's contagious over the phone. Negative attitude, that's contagious too. Not over the phone, but in the office. Don't let those people talk to your customers. Give them out. Don't let customers and don't let them affect the office. They're like a virus. Okay? Positive is contagious. And negative attitude is contagious as well. Confidence. CSR is booking 95% of their calls. They customers' agenda, regardless of how adverse it may be in the beginning of the call, and they not only, but when they hang up, everybody else. Okay, 911. Dial 911. There's no 912. Help away. Okay, confidence. It's huge when it comes to CSRs. Now, confidence takes time. It takes practice. But once you can do it, you can have a phenomenal CSR. They can become more consistent. They can book more calls. They can keep your technicians busy. And your goal. Listening. thing about listening. Sometimes it's about showing them that you're listening. Oh, not enough. It's okay out of your vocabulary. It's not okay to say, okay, what's your address? Okay, what's your address? No, the stove has been working for the last 3 days, and they've been stuck using their microwave. Not cool. Not okay. Kate, at least restate. Sometimes it takes more than that. Say they get on, they say, I'm just looking to know what you guys charge for X. Tell me more about that. What's going on? Well, this is what's going on. Ooh, that's not good. Look, how long has that been happening? The last few days now. Oh, wow. How can I get this done? Well, as soon as possible. Look, you called the right place. We agree with that. We'll just come out. What happened? I bet. Why? Because I can talk about his problem. And that gives you to express sympathy. And we'll express sympathy. I read him that he's called the right place. And he began to like me a little bit. And as for the appointment, it's just as simple as asking the right question. When you ask the right question, you get the right answer. Okay? Extremely important. Again, get on the phone and they are treating you like an object. They don't know you. You're a friend. In order to get a technician out to my home and fix my problem. The minute you show that you really care about my situation and that you want to help, well, that's everything. Okay? I become more comfortable with you. Like I've called the right place. I'm good. He is huge in creating a relationship. Say yes. Always tell the customer what you can do. Never do. The minute you lose the call. Looking for a ballpark price. Oh, I'm sorry, we don't give prices over the phone. Okay, thanks, bye. Gosh, I need you guys to come out today. Oh, I'm sorry, we can't come out today. Okay, bye. Oh, it's $16, but okay, thanks, bye. Tell all we can do. Always, even if they're out of your service area. I'm sorry, we don't service that area. Okay, thanks, bye. Really? If you were to Zappos and Orta in your area, guess what? They do a pizza. Now they're Brigham, that's over the top. Yeah, maybe. But that is in the business of customer service. They're not selling shoes. They're service. Go to $1 billion in 10 years. Gosh, we probably at least take be open-minded. Okay, always tell the customer what you can do. Business of customer service. Read them. They've called the right place. I can absolutely help you. Nothing worse than a CSR saying, gosh, let me see what I can do. Really? God, take a look at it? I don't know. We're going to do the best we can. None of that works. Absolutely, I can help you with that. Read it and tell us what you can do. When? Ask often. Say, my dog like Brazilian salad. It's very simple. You cut up some cucumbers, you cut up tomatoes, you put them both in a bowl, you put some olive oil in there, you put some lime juice, and you put a lot of salt. Well, one night I came home and I was eating a bowl of Brazilian salad, and Bella came up and she wanted me to share. And of course, she had already had dinner. I came home late and I didn't want to share, and she continued to use every trick and believe that a daughter uses. Lifting your head, blinking your eyes, saying please, and little take her hand in my head and say, come on, Dad, please. And I was saying, no, I was being strong. No, this is my salad plate. I'm watching my show. I don't want to give any to anybody else. And of course, the kitchen, and she was a bowl, and she says, Dad, 3 years, 2, I leave you alone. Done. So I hook her up. What just happened? If you don't ask, you don't get. And so that at the age of 12. Okay. If you ask, you don't get. Customer gets on the phone, asks every question of the center, and the CSR is so accommodating. She answers every question that customer asks, and after 25 minutes, I know because I listen to these calls on a regular basis, you've been great. I'm going to think about this for a little while and maybe give you a call back. Okay? It happens all the time. Ask. It's simple. Customer asks a question. Well, the answer to that question is this. When would you like us to come out? Then the customer says, well, what about this other thing? Well, the answer to that other thing is this other thing. When would you like us to come out? Well, what about this other thing here? Well, that's a great question. See, what we do is this. When would you like us to come out? Don't take a breath without asking for the appointment. Ask for it early, ask for it often, and book it. First. See without building value first. Earlier, I gave an example. Customer gets on the phone and says, hey, what do you charge for this? Well, we charge X. Okay, thanks. Bye. Okay. Customer gets on the phone and says, hey, what do you guys charge to come out? It's a great question. Tell me, what's going on? We got this fridge and it's just not working the way it used to. It's just not cooling. Oh, it's not good. How long has it been doing that? Last couple of days. Well, geez, we've got to get that fixed. How's he looking to get this done? Well, as soon as possible. Look, you call that place, we can help you with that. When would you like us to come out? If they say, hey, this afternoon, well, then you're out of the woods. But if they say, gosh, really want to get an idea as to what you guys charge before we come out, what do you do? You build value first. Well, that's a great question. You see, what we do in your situation is we're going to a technician, trained, he's certified, he's backed by a company that's been around for the last 20 years now, so you're in great hands. What he's going to do is he's going to come out, he's going to look at the scope of the work, he's going to do exactly what needs to be done to that fridge, and he's going to give you a price before he's out. There's a fee of X for him out and do that. When would you just to come out? Okay, what's that fee? Well, I don't know if I want to pay that fee. Well, in which case, you can talk about coupons. You can talk about your maintenance agreement. Maybe a monthly fee with that maintenance agreement. You can make it really easy on them to move forward. Okay, what you do, find out what it is that's holding them back. You isolate it. You make sure that's his only situation or his only problem. That value can do, and for it again. It's very, very simple. Okay. The cool thing about these principles, first, the why for them, develop their abilities, over the phone, at work, to interact with others, and to their way of thinking. And it's going to develop their ability to perform outside the office at a level. They will experience a higher quality of life. They experience better relationships. You think, no, this is Jeff Gitomer. This is from Stephen Covey. These principles have been taught from Dale Carnegie. Okay? This information is the stuff that you are probably teaching them right now. But approach it from a different way. And all things in. To their calls. Make sure they're using these principles. Make sure they're mastering. One-on-one. Use their own calls to coach them. Funny thing, you teach the principles to the CSRs. Oh yeah, I'm doing all this stuff. Okay, good. That's great. That's wonderful. As they listen to them, boy, I tell you, the difference between knowing and doing my part. Work them one-on-one. Back the drama. Look, if there's issues going on in the office, fix them. You don't want building with drama, whether it be inside or outside the office. Talking to your customers over the phone. It's happening right now. Stop it. Fix it. And get it out of the way. Educate them. Educate them. That's really important. Sometimes a customer will say, okay, or actually, scratch that. A business owner will say, okay, no more waiving the fee ever. Okay, it's all fine and good, and I don't sort waiving fees either. But there are very, very few times, say for example during the off season, where the customers had two other companies come out and move forward with them for whatever reason because he doesn't trust them. He do dispatch fees, and it's a big ticket item, or big. It could potentially mean something to us. It might make sense to educate the CSR and say, hey, look, in that particular situation, just a technician out there, as opposed to a technician sitting at home. Let's get them in the customer's home. Okay, I don't support waiving fees ever. I like fighting for fees. There are times where it's just to get a technician out there so that we can get that job. Progress are easy. Okay, I use the principles. Just measure their progress based on the principles we've taught. Give them a card. Measure, show them how they're doing in each category. It's really important. Look out for new ones. Always. Okay? No one's be caught in the busy season with CSRs. Always superstars. Just some help wanted ads out there. Keep really good resumes. And give resumes a call. Just calculated the value of one more book call a day. It's really simple. Okay. Your ratio. Let's say that if you're able to get a technician out there, I'd be willing to bet that you're closing at about 85–90%. Okay. Average ticket, say it's anywhere from $200 to $300, right? Say it's $300 for the sake of keeping it simple. Now, keep this in mind: when you're booking one more call a day, they're working days in any given month. Okay, so 20 working days in any given month. That's 20 book calls a month, isn't it? Your close ratio, let's just say that you're closing at 50%, just for the sake of numbers. Okay, I know that you're closing a whole lot more than that, but just for kicks and giggles. So 2 book calls, we close half of them, which equals what? 10. So now you're at 10. Your hit is 300. Well, 300 is 1,000, right? And then 3,000 times 12 is $36,000 a year. Now, these numbers are so conservative, it's not even funny. I mean, if you are booking at 80%, you're looking at an extra $50,000 a year. Okay? One more book call a day. 2 more a day. Well, then you get your money. 4 more calls a day. Well, now you're talking. Okay? If you're able to book 8 more calls a day because your CSRs are performing at such a high level, keeping your technicians so busy, then it gets ridiculous. $500,000. All right? Pretty amazing stuff. Just by more calls. Steps to book more calls. First, train them. I've given principles. What's in it for them? Tell them why. Okay? Monitor calls. Monitor on a regular basis. Listen to them. Make sure that the gap between knowing and doing is gone. Listen. Yeah. They're going to have different weaknesses, different strengths. Coach them. Have them listen to their own calls. And, help make their weaknesses strengths and their strengths stronger. Hold accountable. Have a report of some kind. Give a way to measure their own progress. Give and let them do it. Okay? Define the outcomes. What are the outcomes? Call, create a wow experience for your customers. Teach them principles and let them apply the principles how they see fit. But just those outcomes. I'm going to look out for more. You know, CSRs that are there forever and they perform at a high level, but they tend to get burned out after about 2 years. Okay? You're going to, as you're definitely going to book more calls, see it day in and day out with the CSRs that we work with. Okay? And you want a price over the phone? Yeah, you're going to book that call. CSRs that are performing at this level, that have mastered the principles that we've gone over, and you're holding them accountable the way you hold them accountable, and you're coaching them one-on-one on a regular basis, They book these types of calls. Say that speak technician. You're going to book those types of calls. Their spouse first. You're going to book those types of calls. Okay, those that you use to justify, oh, they're not our customers. Those guys have money, and you'd be surprised how often those customers are back your customers. You just need to get out there. Okay, can't judge for over a 90-second phone conversation that they're not your customer. So want to pay a fee to have you come out? You're going to book types of calls. You're going to pay the fee more time than that. Not right now, but your book's solid. Okay, very simple. You'd be surprised how good a CSR can be at those calls with customers that come on with an adverse agenda. So, if you can't do this, obviously, obviously that's what we do. We train customer service reps on a regular basis. We monitor their calls. We coach them one-on-one over the phone every other week. And a report, we also have an in-house recruiting department that helps you find new CSRs. We place new CSRs all the time. In fact, in the USA, we place a CSR named Caesar for Sobelis, and his best CSR. So do this yourselves, make time to do it, or do it for you. Paul?
Brigham, thank you. Listen, do you have any recommendations before we open up the phones here for CSRs when an angry customer calls and gets aggressive with them or starts to swear at them?
You know, when I say Verizon or AT&T, that's the first one I can think of that upset, you know.
See, this is also
they are. The first one to do is you want to own that concern. Ownership of it, you express empathy, you want to reassure him that you can take care of it, and then see it through. Another way, get the manager involved if you have to, and see through as far as getting the technician out there, getting it fixed, calling them afterwards to make sure they're satisfied and taken care of. Those are the steps that I take. Same principles that we teach, but ownership of it and making sure it's taken care of throughout the entire process.
Awesome. Have you ever come across a company that incentivizes their call takers for the number of calls booked?
I do incentivize them for maintenance agreement. If you have a maintenance agreement that you offer your customers, it tends to be the blood of a company, especially in the off season. I would suggest that as CSRs promote your maintenance agreement, that they are compensated for that. Smoking calls and wowing customers, that's your job. That's what I'm hired to do. When it comes to the extra things, such as maintenance agreements and so forth, operational services, they should fit for that. Absolutely.
Cool. Okay, well, the microphone's open on everyone's phone now. Does anybody have a question for Brigham?
No.
No question.
It's my turn.
Okay, well, thanks. We're done. Thank you all for joining us today. And Brigham, thank you so much for the powerful information that you've shared with us today. Good day, everybody.
My pleasure.